Here we go. Yo, it's Vita here. Thank you all so much for checking out this video. It's been a while since I've posted a blog video, but I thought it was time. I also want to thank you all so much for your continued patience and your continued faith and support in what I do. Y'all are the reason I do it, so thank you. It means the fucking world to me. Thank you. Part of why I wanted to do this video is I wanted to share with y'all an experience that I had very recently. Recently I decided I wanted to try and take a chance on acting again, and I actually had the honor of being cast as a character in the Richmond, Virginia's production of Transcripts, which is a play written by the playwright Paul Lucas. Paul was in a conversation with somebody that he knew, and that person said something along the lines of, "I don't believe in this transgender thing." What that prompted from Paul was the result of dozens of interviews with trans women around the world. The premise of this performance is kind of like Paul's artistic response to this idea that trans people don't exist. Starting with part 1, the women. Part 2, the men, is currently in the works. And I've been kind of like pushing for some consideration for a non-binary section because, hello, I'm non-binary. But more about the play. So the characters in this play, they're based off of real life trans women who have been interviewed by Paul over the span of, I'm pretty sure, years, to get all of these interviews and then to go through all of them, to honor all of the stories and these intersections and put them into a script where there are only 7 characters on stage. In this particular production in Richmond, we actually had one of the people who was the very source of a character put in the Transcripts production. That person is Zakiya McKenzie, and she's amazing. Such life. She helped me paint. She helped me get my face together. I loved it. I have never had the chance to play a trans character on stage, and often it is something that trans people don't get to do as artists. We're often expected to portray a caricature of some kind, or we're expected to pretend we're a different gender, or, just the representation has been lacking. It's been a source of conversation in the trans community for years. Why does that matter here? Why does that matter right now? In fact, it actually seems like a really good segue to answer that question. It matters because when I was cast as Luna, I was cast as an activist. I was cast as somebody who speaks her mind, consequences be damned, and I thought maybe that's my cue, no pun intended, to speak my mind about my experience at this theater. Now, what I will say up front is that my experience at this theater is layered, it's complicated, it is not inherently all good or all bad. The people that I got to meet, the connections I got to make, they're valid, they're beautiful. I had a wonderful time playing this character. I could never imagine a day where I would get on stage and feel like myself on stage without playing myself as a poet, It's just something that I'm processing out loud, and I want to share with you all because I think it's an important discussion to have. Well, enough stalling. Let's get into it. When I got hired for this production, I was super excited because I was like, yo, as I've said multiple times, I get to be a trans person on stage. That's really cool because normally I only see cis people doing that. So imagine my surprise when I got to day 1 rehearsal and found out that there had been a cis woman cast as a trans woman on stage. I was in shock. It didn't feel good. It felt painful. There was the fact that there was no real heads up about what I was getting myself into, Not that I have any regrets about this production, but part of me feels that if I knew there was going to be a cis person cast as a trans person, that I might not have done it. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad that I stuck it out and tried my best to just navigate the experience as opposed to moving away from it and just saying no to it for a few different reasons. One, I really wanted to do it. Just had the desire in my heart, wanted to do this production. As soon as I heard about what it meant and how it was created and everything, I was like, I gotta do this. And sometimes you want to do a gig so bad and it means so much to you that there are some things that you're willing to compromise. And unfortunately, there was a compromise of like my own integrity as a trans artist. I personally was not 100% comfortable with the experience at all. I think one of the hardest parts about the experience is that I got there, and by there I mean Richmond, Virginia, away from my home base, and I got to this place where I thought that the only cis folk that I would be engaging with would be in the production team. They would be the directors, they would be the costumers, they would be the lighting and sound designers. You know, it would be that sort of thing. Never once did I expect in a production that has nothing but trans characters to have a cis woman in the cast. I didn't see that coming at all. And the hardest part about that was that there was not much time to discuss it, you know? This was a 2-week, very, very intensive production of a staged reading, you know? And 2 weeks is not a lot of time. You know, the first time we got together, we spent that entire rehearsal just reading the book down. And then it was chopping it out bit by bit by bit by bit on stage with the script still in our hands. So because of how intensive it was, I don't think there was a lot of time set aside for that conversation. And I desperately wanted to have it, but I didn't know what to do. So I reached out to people and I was like, should I keep this gig? Should I go? You know, am I sacrificing myself and who I am and what I believe in? If I stay here, what do I do? I didn't think I would be in this experience so soon. When you're on stage, it's different. You're engaging with people. You're connecting with people. You're trying really, really hard to empathize with other characters on stage. And it was probably one of the most challenging things to do, to empathize with a cis woman who is playing a trans character. Especially because I knew that these stories were sourced from real trans women, and I don't speak for all trans women, I don't speak for all trans people, period. But I've been frustrated with the struggle of looking for artistic work and seeing cis people consistently get it. Jared Leto won an Oscar for it. Jeffrey Tambor won an Emmy for it. Eddie Redmayne got nominated for an Oscar for it. There's another movie coming out either this week or next where there's another cis man playing the role of a trans woman. You know, and it happens so often and it's so exhausting that when it happened directly in front of me, I just froze. I thought, fuck, is my existence as a trans person really so unimportant that anybody can do it? You know, and it hurt. And often I thought about walking away from the production because of it. It didn't really come up in conversation while we were rehearsing at all. And, you know, it got mentioned very briefly on the first day of rehearsal. And then, you know, if it got brought up, it was brought up in defense of the decision and not necessarily in validation for any potential for anger or upset or feelings of mistrust. It didn't feel like I could put those things into the discussion and still do my part and play this role in the production. So I decided to wait, do the production, try my best to empathize with what I know this character to be, and somehow block out this reality that honestly felt like my existence being invalidated as a trans person. I looked at this person as somebody who had disrespected my experience and had disrespected my identity by having the audacity to go on stage and pretend to be something she wasn't. Do I regret doing this production? No, I don't regret it. I learned so much, and I had experiences with people that I'm going to carry with me throughout all of my gigs in the future. I grew as an artist while I was there. I was challenged in ways I literally didn't expect, and I made it out on the other side feeling great about the experience overall, feeling connected with the people that I worked with. Do I still feel some type of way about the situation? Yes. Do I personally feel like I have a right to feel some type of way about the situation? Of course I do. I should be allowed to speak my mind about what feels like an invalidation of my experiences and the experiences of my people that is being held up as the thing to pay attention to when discussing the trans narrative. For those who may not understand why I still have those feelings, imagine this. Imagine that we're dealing with another Rachel Dolezal situation where somebody has been pretending to be black for so long that it actually worked, right? This person did that for so long that she got full scholarships to black institutions, that she was made a leader in this stuff. It's frustrating because we all got paid, right? Because we can all put this on our resumes now, right? And there is a trans person who didn't get that paycheck, and there is a trans person who didn't get that role because the cis person got it. So I am sitting with that frustration, and I am sitting with some of my own frustration about the fact that I didn't speak up sooner, that I didn't push back against the situation the way I wanted to, and the way I desperately wanted to. At the end of the day, I did what I felt I needed to do for myself and for the experience as a whole. I'm grateful that I got to be here and that I got to experience being a trans woman on stage. It was probably one of the more powerful things I feel I'll do this entire year, and with one of the dopest crews of trans folk on stage that I have encountered in an artistic setting. I would easily collab with any of the trans women on that stage in a heartbeat. There are things here that I learned that are gonna shape my experiences here as a trans woman for the rest of my life. That's a gift that I am so grateful for. So, what do you think? If there's a production that is going to happen at a theater, or if it's gonna happen on film, or if it's gonna be a TV show, and there's a trans character, is there any decision that you think you would make? Is there any decision that you think that you would be in where you would say, all right, I guess this is how we're doing it? Am I wrong to feel some kind of way about it? I mean, I don't think so, but I'm open to the possibility that I might be. I don't want to be resigned to the erasure of my people in art or otherwise. Thank y'all so much for checking out this video. It's a very sensitive subject, and it's one that I have pretty strong feelings about. Everyone's got a place at the table of discussion so long as they come correct to the table, you dig? If you like this video, if you feel that this discussion is important, share it. Talk with people you know about it. I think we're gonna end it here. To anyone who watched this video, thank you so much again, and stay tuned. There'll be more videos coming. Till then, I witness you, I love you, and I lift you. This is Vita E. Peace.